Hello and welcome to the Farmer's Kitchen. We're the farmers.
That's right.
This is our kitchen, and we're cooking dinner. You know, we were kind of like this morning, we're like, what are we going to do? Kelly reminded us that the farmer's market is open. And I thought, okay, let's do this. Let's go to the farmer's market and do what?
Look around and then decide what we're going to have for dinner by what we get.
Exactly. So I thought, okay, let's just go see what they've got. So we're in Kentucky, Franklin County. Farmer's market has been going on in some shape or fashion for 100 years.
Wow.
And I remember going to that first one. I was like 12.
Did you? Really? Wow.
So anyhow, let's go visit the Franklin County Farmers Market and see what we can find for dinner. And it's actually kind of laying right here, but let's take a look. Kelly, where are we today?
So today you're at the Franklin County Farmers Market.
I knew that, believe it or not. But you know what? You said, you know, it's early in the year, the produce is not going to be that much, but there's all kinds of stuff in here already.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these guys are full-time farmers, so this isn't just, you know, a weekend side hustle or something like that. These guys have greenhouses and they are serious about their produce. Yes, absolutely. So I think one of the most important things for people to know is that we are a producers only market. And you know, you may step into a farmer's market and think that the person behind the table, what they're selling is something that they've actually grown or produced themselves. And that's not necessarily true at all markets, but it is here. We do always give priority to people that live within Franklin County, and then we, you know, outsource to other counties beyond that. But everything you see here at the Franklin County Farmers Market has been grown, produced, or you know, is a product from the person that is selling it.
Do you remember when this started actually? What year?
In some way, shape, or form, there has been a market in Franklin County for about 100 years.
Wow.
Now the market, as you see it today with the pavilion, is closer to 20 years.
20 years.
Yeah.
So our thing today was, okay, what are we going to do for dinner? So I thought, whatever we find down here is what we're going to do for dinner tonight. And we scored.
Nice.
So what would you tell folks right now, to the rest of the world, if you wanted to come to the market here? What do they need to do?
If you want to come to the market, you need to check out our times. Our website is franklincountyfarmersmarket.org. We're also very visible on social media, Facebook and Instagram, so you can follow along with us, figure out what time we're here, and just show up. We're right here on Wilkinson Boulevard across from the hotel.
The hotel?
Yeah.
Right there?
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. We're going to go home and cook.
I love it.
All right.
Welcome.
So we're back, and sometimes you just need a roasted chicken.
Oh yeah.
And we said whatever we find in there, we're going to make. We're going to show you our version of a herb buttered roasted chicken. You can't beat it. Now Nicki always messes around with butters. We've done this years ago on the show, but you've done a herb butter, a honey butter, and that's like a shallot, red wine.
It's good too.
Yeah, that's
You
good
could eat
too.
those with a spoon.
You know what? We might have to put that on our sourdough bread that we bought at the
Yes.
farmer's market. Do you want to make your sourdough bread at home? We've done that in the last couple of years. You can make your own starter at home.
Oh, yeah.
It's not hard. All you got to do is get it going. Take a look at that if you'd like. Day one. What do you do, Miss Farmer?
And we started with we just used a glass bowl and we would cover it each night so we could kind of watch it better. I just have these because I think they look fancy to have it on the counter.
We took some video with our phone because it was such a process. Now we used just regular store-bought all-purpose flour.
Right.
4 ounces, 4 ounces. Flour, water. You put this in, mix it up.
Right.
Cover your bowl, set it in a temperature anywhere between 70 and 80 degrees, which is pretty easy to do.
Right.
We set it in a room over top of the garage
That's
where we
kinda
knew it was a
warm.
little bit warmer.
Right.
Day two, we come back.
24 hours.
24 hours, and we notice there's already a few bubbles in
Right.
here. That's what you want to see. That
Right.
means things are working. It's eating.
Yes.
Day two, 24 hours later, we add 4 ounces of flour, 4 ounces of water. We mix it up, stir it up, Stir it up real good. Then you scrape any down off the sides, down into the bowl.
Right.
Cover it. Set it back in your spot where it's 70 to 80 degrees. Day 3.
Did you notice something different day 3?
I did notice something. It's really starting to work. It's starting to get a smell to it. It's starting to smell like sourdough bread.
A little bubbly.
A little bubbly. Same thing. Feed it.
Right.
4 ounces flour, 4 ounces of water.
Right. Equal
Mix
parts.
it up. Equal parts. Mix it up. Scrape it off the sides.
Right.
Cover it back in your 70, 80 degree
Easy,
environment.
simple.
Easy. Day 4, we noticed something really unique. Started getting a vinegar smell and
Yeah.
that sourdough.
Got excited.
It was
didn't we?
sour.
Yes.
It was a little pungent. So we stirred it up, fed it again,
Right.
put it away, covered it, and it really did. And you hope for that vinegar. Lots of bubbles. Lots of bubbles at this point. Day 5, we fed it after day 4. Day 5, guess what? It's ready to use.
Yes, it
if
is.
you're having that action and it's doing its thing, sometimes you may want to go another day, feed it, and do it another day.
Right.
But it worked for us. It was ready to go. Now, we took that old Miracle Maize corn dish, it's glass, that we bought at the antique store, and you put your butter in there. You put a little plastic in, just to give it a rough shape.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to eat it.
Right.
But long story short, tonight you're going to make an herb butter, and we're going to use some of this on our chicken. How do you make that?
And it's easy, and we're just going to make one of them.
Okay.
And what I did is I just took a stick of butter. I like the salted, because it's already got flavor.
For chicken, what do you like in chicken? I like sage, thyme, rosemary,
That's what I got.
and you could use a little oregano if you wanted, and some garlic. Now, what could be better than that on under the skin of the chicken and over the skin of the chicken? Now, let's show you what I did just a little while ago. You want to be real careful when you do this. You want to go underneath that skin, pull that connective tissue out. You don't want to put holes in that because all your butter's going to run out if you do that. So I went very carefully up in there, loosened that up, and we tied the legs off to prepare for that. We're going to put butter up under here and over here.
Yum.
Your herb butter.
I'm excited.
So basically, we're just mixing all that stuff
Right.
up to your taste. You can put a little salt and pepper in there too.
Right. And this is just room temperature because you want to be able to stir it around. Okay, so that's about a teaspoon of sage.
Gotcha.
Then I'm going to take the rosemary here.
Now, some people like sage, some people don't. If you don't use it. Now, you could use dried herbs, and we do many times. In fact, what I'm going to mix up over here in a minute, she's going to actually take this and put in the butter dish to let it harden up. So I'm going to go ahead and mix up my own batch over here with just a little bit of garlic, a little bit of thyme, a little bit of rosemary, a little bit of sage, a little salt and pepper. And this is just to go on, and that's about a half a stick is what I'll use, and I probably won't even use all of that. And that's just to taste, just to get some seasoning in there.
All right, so I have about a tablespoon of each of these, of the thyme and the rosemary, and your sage, maybe a teaspoon, half a teaspoon.
Gotcha.
And I also took 2 garlic cloves and crushed them in here.
And you're going to put your butter right into the old cornbread pan. That's a Miracle Maize. That's from a long time
That's
ago.
neat.
Isn't that cool? We got
Yeah.
a couple of those. All right.
I'm going to do plastic wrap. That was your idea, because that way, make sure it comes out good. Want to grab that for me? We'll just lay that on top. And we're only going to make one. You could make 6 here.
Man, you can do so many things. What do you like in your butter?
Oh yeah.
It's your choice. So many choices.
Well, that one is just honey and vanilla.
Oh, and
the
that's
one, honey butter.
I can,
Yeah, that's delicious too. All right, I'm gonna put that in here.
and that's just as simple as that. You could put it. You could press it into a more. You could press it into a bigger butter container, a deeper one, and make it perfect. But these are just fine for serving.
You know what I would like to put it in like an icing bag and then squeeze it out on my plate and then dip my bread in it.
You remember us making butter years and years and years and years and years ago?
Yes, that was fun. A lot
Heavy
of work.
cream in a jar. Take a look at this. This was being we're celebrating our 10th year. I believe this was 10 years ago.
I think it was.
Take a look at this. Here's us making butter. Heavy cream, a jar, shake. There's no place you can go, hardly, to a restaurant and not come home and make that sort of a meal. We've made all kinds of Chinese dishes, we've made Thai dishes, we've made all kinds of wonderful stuff in our own home. But when it comes down to it, sometimes you just want a roasted chicken.
Yeah.
This is our method. Here's our 12-inch cast iron. Now, I want to prove to you that you can use this outside as well as in the oven. Heat
right.
is heat.
Right.
So, Miss Nicki, if we had to think about how many briquettes
Uh-oh.
on the top and on the bottom
I
for
don't know.
350 degrees, what would it be?
17 and 8.
You're brilliant.
I cheated. Kelly told me.
17 and 8. That's 8 on the bottom, 17 on the top. You could very well do this dish outside. We've done quail, a beautiful quail dish outside. Quail and leeks. Do you remember that?
That was good.
So here's how we're going to get started. As we're cooking this in the oven, uncovered, I'm going to put my vegetables underneath that. So what happens when those fats are rendering out of this bird onto the vegetables? Are you serious? Let's peel some of these little skinny carrots there. Farmer's Market.
Alrighty, I will.
We get some green onions from the farmer's market. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put about 2 cups of chicken broth in here. So while our chicken is cooking, browning on the top, moist on the bottom, and the vegetables are retaining that beautiful, wonderful fat that's dripping off of that. I'm going to put a little chicken bouillon in here, and I'm going to put some poultry seasoning. Now, what do you like in your poultry seasoning? I'll tell you what I like. I like a little paprika. I like some thyme. I like some garlic. Just whatever you like, or you can use a store-bought. Now, we're going to use some white wine. What's the white wine going to do? It's going to give you that wonderful, wonderful flavor. When those fats mix with that, and you think about all the times that we've cooked our meats with wine.
Yummy.
We make our wine sauces,
Yes.
a la Raoul. So now we have these beautiful little carrots. I'm going to try to get these carrots right underneath this bird so they really, really absorb that
A couple more for you.
fat. I'm going to take some little potatoes, place around. Now you got to think about your chicken roasting. Some people like it 375. I find that a smaller chicken, if you do it at 350, it doesn't take that much more time, and you won't brown the fire out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I like these little potatoes. They're cute.
I love those little potatoes. Now let's get some of those green onions, Nikki.
All right.
If you will, cut them right up to about the green.
Okay.
A little bit past the green. We'll do a little salt. Now remember, we have some bouillon there, so we don't need much. A little pepper, and there's some in our poultry seasoning, so we don't need to go too much on the salt. And I'm going to take these green onions
That we got at the farmer's market?
farmer's market. You know what? I'm going to put a little more pepper. Can't do too much
like
pepper.
pepper.
You know, we saw Glenn again a couple weeks ago. Man, oh man, I wish he would reform, but he just loves pepper too much.
Yes,
he loves pepper.
Yes, he does.
He's
He
out of
likes his
control.
pepper. He likes his pepper.
So I'm going to put this little rack in here, and I'm going to take this bird. This is the part that makes it wonderful. So I'm going to go up under the skin that I loosened up. Be careful, don't break it, whatever you do. And I'm going to put that butter up inside
That
of
yummy
here.
butter.
Oh, me, oh my. Then I'm going to simply come on the outside. Now you think about a natural skin of the chicken and how the fat comes off there, but you add
That yumminess.
the butter
Yeah, I'm
with
excited.
the fresh herbs, and you come across the whole bird. You can put up a little inside of it.
You can lick your fingers when you're done?
No,
Okay.
I don't believe they
Okay.
would follow any rules that you're supposed to do in the kitchen. Now, tie his little legs together to keep him from jumping in the pot. We don't want that. It's going to brown up so beautifully, wonderfully. I'm going to come back with just a little salt, a little bit of pepper. Look at that, look at that.
That looks amazing.
Some people say it's too much butter. No such thing.
Ready?
Yep. We have preheated our oven to 350, and it's sitting there looking at us.
Yes, it is.
This is sitting here looking at us. So what we're going to do is take this and put this on this tray because it's pretty heavy. That'll even that weight out on that
Yes.
rack.
And the legs too. We don't want to fall through.
But again, you can do this outside if you choose to do so. Now a lot of times I'll start that out at 375
Yeah.
for maybe 15, 20 minutes just to get a little bit of brown going. Then I'll kick it back to 350. And I find that after about an hour and a half, that's when I check the temperature. And usually at that point, I'm about 165.
Ready to
Then
go.
you let it rest, and then you carve it up, and you got something beautiful. So let's let the clock tick.
Okay.
All right. I've got a problem.
What?
I don't know whether to look at it because it's so beautiful or eat it.
It's so pretty, but we should probably eat it.
I think we should eat it.
I want to eat it, yes.
You know what I like to do? I like to use my fish fillet knife.
Oh,
Go right down
that looks
in
so
here.
perfect.
I tell you what, my buddy Raoul, the chef, years ago, taught me. He says, if it's really good and you want to add more flavor, and make it better?
Yes.
You should. At the very end when it comes out, if you want to take some of that butter.
You didn't you?
It's almost ridiculous. I want you to try one of those carrots though.
I can't
Real
wait.
quick.
Oh,
Now what happened? Those carrots laid under that chicken.
Oh, they're so good. It's still delicious. The
Do you
flavors
taste the
in it,
chicken
yes.
fat in it?
That's the best carrot I've ever had. I like it.
That makes
They're
me so
delicious.
happy.
Oh, I can't wait to try this.
Now I'm going to handle this
Okay.
and pull this off. I want you to look at this. I want you to look how moist that is. That moisture laid under that, and that's your piece, Mrs.
It is that whole big piece.
Yep. Oh, you forgot the skin. Get that skin, get that butter on there.
So good.
Now see, roast chicken is great, but butter and herbs
That's flavored
and
perfect.
fresh, are you kidding me?
And it's tender.
From the farmer's market.
And I'm not usually one to eat like the breast, but that's delicious. Y'all did yourself again.
The sage.
My butter made it, didn't it?
Your
It's
butter
all about
made
my
it.
butter. That's
The
right.
sage. Oh, you know what we didn't try? It's that little tater. Gotta try a tater. You love your taters, don't you?
I do, and that flavor of the tater's good too. They're
okay.
perfect size. That's delicious.
Your bread with your shallot butter.
What do you think? We got all kinds of butter. Bread's delicious. I love the butter.
Oh,
Wow.
what'd you put in that now?
That, I took some shallots and I sauteed them a little bit in olive oil, maybe like one small shallot. And once they sauteed down, I put a 1/4 cup of red wine. And then I put the secret ingredient, some currant jelly. I put 2 teaspoons of currant jelly, some of your cherry pepper, and I let it reduce down to about 2 tablespoons and mixed it in the butter.
Ryle is still speaking. Listen, you know, that's the great thing about cooking. If you're following somebody's recipe, somebody you knew and loved and trusted their taste in food, it stays there.
Yes.
And when you eat that and you taste that, you think about that friend
Oh yeah,
all the time. The family or the friends who used to cook certain things. It's a way to keep them alive.
I'm enjoying this.
Oh, now we're gonna turn the camera off
Oh, wow.
and have some of this. But what's the great thing about cooking a whole chicken?
Leftovers. If you have any, if you let us keep any.
So, what happens if you've been eating pizza and burgers and
Right.
being really bad and
You
lots
gotta
of
be good.
cookies? So you got to straighten up
That's right.
for a little while.
For a minute.
So we're going to show you something quick and easy for lunch, or dinner, or even breakfast. That's really good, really tasty, and really good for you.
Yes,
But right now we're going to eat.
that's right.
We ate chicken
Yes, we
and
did.
we ate bread.
Yes.
We ate so much we're tired.
Yes, we are.
So what happens when you have beautiful, wonderful chicken leftovers? There's so much you can do with it. So there was a restaurant where I used to go through the drive-thru and get a turkey, bacon, avocado,
Oh yeah.
flatbread type thing. This is kind of like that, except different. We're trying to be good.
Trying to be healthy.
So we're going to use some lettuce, some beautiful lettuce. Oh, this is good. Now, I have eaten, but I can always eat more.
Right. Another
You
step.
too?
Yes, I could eat again.
Now, what happens when you cure your own bacon?
You eat it.
It's like candy.
It is.
Oh. You know, the way that we do it is we take it and we put a cure on it, put it in the refrigerator for 3 to 5 to 7 days, depending on how much cure you want, then take it out and lightly smoke it. But let's get this thing started, Ms. Farmer.
All right. You want me to cut up the bacon and the chicken?
Yeah, let's cut the bacon up tiny pieces. Can I have one more bite of that before you cut up?
You can. I'll cut. Here's a little piece off the edge. How's that for a little tiny?
Oh my. Okay, ingredients that you'll need for this. We need salt, we need pepper, we need a little bit of cilantro if you like it. Some people don't. Chickpeas.
Love chickpeas.
And you know, there's a few carbs there, but hey, we're okay. Little ranch dressing, avocado, lime, tomato, chicken, bacon, olive oil.
That's right.
Let's do this.
All right. I'm gonna cut your chicken up.
Now, as you know, your avocados will turn brown once you cut them, so we got to eat all this tonight.
That's right.
You know what? Let's just watch a movie.
Okay. And have
2 hours from now, and we starve it, and we'll just eat all these.
Let me start throwing that in for you. Is that all right? Here's your bacon.
Oh. Now you can use as much ranch as you want. That's probably about tablespoon and a half, just to give you a good suggestion of ranch flavor in there. Who doesn't like ranch flavoring?
That's right.
Chicken, we've probably got, if I had to guess, 2/3 of a cup. Beautiful, wonderful chicken. And bacon, we could just eat that and call it a day.
Yummy.
All right, so the avocado. Make sure it's got a little bit of give to it. Watch how smooth I am with it.
You're good with that.
So all the way to the pit. You need to fill the pit all the way around. We're gonna twist it off. Boom. There's the pit. That's the pits, man. Hit your pit with a knife, pull it out, and you can slice these in the shell if you want to slice those however you want to slice them, and then just dump them out. Now you could put chickpeas. The other day we didn't have any, we put black-eyed peas, and it gave it a nice, wonderful, earthy flavor. Put, I don't know, a couple tablespoons of chickpeas. Look what you got going on
All right,
here.
looks good.
I'd say that's 3 tablespoons of chickpeas.
All right.
Now let's do our wet and dry ingredients. So the juice of a lime or 2, these are small, so we'll use 2. So there's the juice of 2 limes. We're gonna go ahead while I'm thinking about it, put a little cilantro in here.
All right, I put 2 tablespoons of olive oil.
Okay.
And if you want to throw your ranch in, I'll stir it up for us.
So that's probably, if I had to guess, almost a tablespoon or thereabouts. Some black pepper.
Yum.
And there's some salt in the ranch. So we're not going to go crazy here, but a little bit of salt. Let me smell that. Oh yeah,
Delish.
nothing wrong with that. And the most important thing we're going to do is put some cumin. So I would say probably at least 2/3 of a tablespoon. And I say let's roll with it.
I'll pour and you stir.
Wonderful. Now then you could add anything you want to this. There's a lot of recipes out there, but we just happen to have all this stuff. And we thought this would be a nice mix. All right, let's make one here. All right, now let's see.
That is pretty.
Is that beautiful?
That is really pretty.
You know, food is special. You know, you can do so many things yourself. Food is beautiful. It's wonderful. It sustains us. It makes us happy. And it's something that's just magical. And why not, if it's really good, make it better, even add more flavor.
That's too pretty to eat. These are pretty.
Take that tomato, take that beautiful, like Bob Ross, take your little tomato, put it on top of your thing. It's a beautiful tomato.
He didn't eat his paintings though.
How do you know? All right,
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna hold this up for you.
Oh my goodness.
Is it good? Mm-hmm. That's beautiful.
That's perfect.
Along with that cilantro, you got a really limey, Latin American feel with this. It's beautiful. It's like,
I'm full. I don't know how you're eating more. Delish. Give me about an hour and I'll eat the rest.
now that was really good.
Delicious.
And because the avocados turn brown, we're gonna put a little bit of lemon in there before we put it in the refrigerator.
Good idea.
Keep it safe.
If there's any left after you're done.
After the movie.
Yes.
So that being said, Ms. Farmer, our half hour has flown by.
Yes, it has.
We kind of did a double dipper here. We did the recipe and we say, okay, what are we gonna do tomorrow with the leftovers?
That's right.
And hey, we got avocados that are still not quite ripe.
You can make some
So
more
3
tomorrow.
days from now, we could be doing this.
That's right.
It's been a long night,
Yes, it has.
but we got snacks.
Yes, we do.
That half hour flew by.
You got a lot of cleaning to do still. So
That's true.
I'm gonna go watch a movie while you clean. How's it? All right.
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Shame me.
I know.
So somebody's gonna see this recipe and they're gonna say, Mrs. Farmer, where in the world would I go get this recipe? What would you tell them?
I say timfarmerscountrykitchen.com.
Does anybody ever come up to you and say, Mrs. Farmer, 24 hours a day, right?
Yes, I can't go anywhere without them asking me for recipes. That's all right.
Also, they're the same situation. They're like, daggone, I would like to get on their Facebook page.
Right.
Is it impossible?
It is really hard.
What do you have to do?
You hit like.
We have 100 and some thousand folks out there. We've been on there since 2012. That's how you know it's our real page. And remember, Mrs. Farmer, it's all about
Good times
good friends
and really good eats.
and a nap in the middle of the movie.
You think?
See you next week with a brand new Tim Farmer's
You want
Country
another
Kitchen.
one?
Yeah, maybe.